Guys, online people are audible.
Yes, sir.
Last session we saw about SNMP, right? Recursive and directly connected static out. Okay. Okay. Hi guys, good afternoon. So in the last session we saw about SNMP, then we saw about recursive static out and directly connected static out. Okay. So today what we are going to do is we are going to see about the next one, which is fully specified static out. Now, what is this fully specified static route? Exit interface and next stop address. Why? Because the thing is, see, we saw two different types, right? Directly connected static route and recursive static route. In recursive static route, we had a disadvantage, which is about the recursive lookup. And in directly connected, we have a disadvantage, which is about the proxy ARP. It depends on the proxy ARP. That means on the next router, proxy ARP has to be enabled. So proxy ARP was not an issue in case of recursive. Here, there was no issue related to proxy ARP. While here, we don't have any recursive lookup. So what is the case? That if you have these two routes, recursive static, and then we have directly connected. So in the first one, we have a problem, that is recursive lookup is a disadvantage. And here we have proxy ARP is a disadvantage. Now, the solution to this problem is here, right? The solution to this problem is recursive static route, and the solution to the first problem is this problem solution is here. Correct? That means if I try to solve only recursive lookup problem, I'll get proxy ARP issue. If I try to solve proxy ARP, I'll get recursive lookup. But what I need to do, I need to solve both the issues. So what I have to do, I have to use both of them. I have to use both the things, exit interface also, and I have to use next over result, right? Okay. So tell me the comment. IP address. Okay. IP route. Network address. What if I write like this? Hmm? What if I write like this? Hmm?
For first one, it will check because it will
Hmm?
again for like first it will check like
Which one is correct? What about first one? Huh? It will? Why? Anybody else? Hmm? Syntax error. Which one? Second one. Which one will be the syntax error? Why? Because this is the wrong syntax. Correct? So why it is like, I can use this one and then I cannot use this one? Because this is incorrect. The command is not defined like this. Okay. It's not like recursive lookup will happen or something like that. Okay. The syntax itself is what? That your exit interface to has to come first. Then only you can define next stop. You cannot first define next stop and then you define exit interface. That is not allowed. That is something that is not allowed. Let's see here. This thing is clear. And this is how your static routing is used in the organization. Okay. So this one you can say this is the best way to configure static route. Best way to configure static route. Clear? Now we will practically see this thing. Okay. Let's start all the nodes. R1.
Sir, wipe means old configuration is deleted.
Which one?
No, you, sir, put one wipe all nodes.
Yes, yes. The previous configuration is removed.
Okay.
12.1. 255, 255, 255, 0. Now set down. Route we will define manually. Interface loopback 1, IP address 10.1.1.1, 255, 255, 255, 0. Loopback 2, 20. Loopback 3, 30. Loopback 4, 40. Loopback 5. Okay. Okay. The configuration is done. Let's check. Use show IP interface brief. IP is there. Do show IP route. We have a connected route. Correct. Then do show IP route. So we have all the connected routes here. And do show IP interface brief. These are the IPs. Clear? Now we will define what fully specified static route. Correct. So what we'll do is I'll say IP route. Okay. And as of now, if I try to ping, right? So first of all, if I say ping 192.168.12.2, will I be able to ping? Yes or no? Will I not get an error? No? Sure. So I'll get an error or not? No? Right? Now, how many packets will fail? Only one? Okay. So now we have the app entry in our app cache. We have the entry. Okay. So now we will try to ping. Now you pay attention. Right. So will I be able to ping? No. Why? There is no route in my routing table. My routing table does not have a route. So definitely I'll not be able to ping. Reason? No route in the routing table. Packet is unrouted. Packet is unrouted. Okay. Now let's define a fully specified route. I'll say IP route. Then I need to say the network 10110. Then exit interface. So that means I can say Z0 by 0. Then if I give question mark, it will still ask me that, okay, forwarding router's address. It will ask me what? Forwarding router's address. That means basically next stop. It's asking me. If I give the next stop first, 192.168.12.2. If I give this first, check if it is asking me for an interface here. Is it asking me for an interface? No. So that is not the syntax. First, you cannot use the next stop. Always your exit interface will come first. Okay. If you try, one will not work. This will not work. So what we have to do first? First, we will write exit interface. You can see here, it's asking gigabit or loopback, what kind of interface it is, right? So I'll say my interface is exit interface is gig 0/0, and my next stop is 12 dot. If I check do show IP route static, this is how my route looks like. Okay, how it is different? How is it different from your directly connected and recursive? Because within one route, we have the next stop also, we have the exit interface also. If we compare it, let's say if I say IP route 2110, and if I say Z0 by 0, this is directly connected route. And if I say 30, this is recursive route, right? Now let's check. See, either you have only next stop or you have exit interface. But in fully specified, within a single route, we have both the things. Within a single route, we have both the things. Clear? Okay. Then, so what? Hmm? Which one will be preferred? Now see this one also. Right now, what do I have? Do show IP route. And if I check static, check only one route. Now I'll say IP route. Okay. And for 10.1.1, 0, 255, 255, 255, 0, 0 by 0. Okay. And the third one, 192.168.12.2, right? Check. Now you say which one will be preferred. All three are what? Static route, AD value same, metric same. What will happen? Automatically, eventually, only one route will go, which is your fully specified. That will be given high priority. Why? Because within one route, both the things are there. There is no dependence on the proxy ARP also. Clear? Okay. But this is not the best practice, okay? And one more thing. Note down some shortcuts that will help you to work in the router better. Like that will make your working faster. Number one, let's say you are at the end of a command, right? And sometimes we have to type a no in a command, right? So what you generally do, you use a arrow key, right? Instead of using arrow key, use Control A. If you will use Control A, your cursor will automatically move at the beginning of the command. Your cursor will move at the beginning of the command. Clear? Then right now my cursor is at the beginning. Maybe I want to add something at the end of the command. So Control E. Control E will bring your cursor to the end, right? Now, sometimes there is a possibility that, okay, what I have to do is I have to remove this command. How do you remove it? Delete. You use delete. Backspace, right? You use backspace. Instead of using backspace, down arrow key. How many times? Let's say here itself I'm typing some command. Now press your down arrow key. Nothing will happen. Right? So if you're typing a command and the command is wrong, you don't want to execute it. Press Control U. Will clear the command. Clear? So let's say this is the command. So if I want to clear entire command, I'll say Control U. Entire command is cleared. Understood? Okay. But what if I don't want to clear the entire part? Maybe just IP route I want to clear. So wherever you want, just bring your cursor there and all the left part will be gone with the Control U. Left part of the command will be gone with the Control U. If you want right part, Control K. Control K will delete the right part of the command from the cursor. Okay. This is clear. So these are few shortcuts that you can use. Number one, Control plus A. This will bring your cursor at beginning. Control E. Cursor at end. Then Control U. Okay. Control U will do what? Delete left part. From cursor. Okay, so from your cursor, the left part will be deleted. And then Control K for the right part. Control C. What it does? Copy. Huh? Goes to the who says? What is the use of Control C? Copy. No. And router doesn't work like this. Cancel the process. Running process. Can say there. Few uses are there. Okay, Control C has different uses. Number one. See here. Let's say I'm in the global configuration mode. If I press Control C, here it is working as an exit. So you can consider it as an exit only. Both the things you can do. Okay, Control Z and Control C, both the things works. Z also works. Then let's say, for example, I'm checking some configuration, maybe running configuration, right? Maybe I'm checking what running config. So there is a lot of configuration right now, but I don't want to check the entire configuration. Maybe let's say I wanted to check the interface. So whenever you're checking the configuration, if you press enter, this will scroll line by line. If you want to scroll page by page, you will press space. Space will do what? page by page scrolling. Correct? Let's say I wanted to check the IP address of this interface and I have checked. Now I don't need to see any more configuration. So I can press Control C here. And this will exit from the command. Okay, so Control C, you can use it as an exit. Works as exit. Is it clear? But not like a single exit. Okay, not like a single exit. Why I'm saying that? Global configuration mode. Then interface configuration. Now, normally, if I exit, where I'll go? Global configuration mode. But if I say Control C, directly jump into the privilege mode. Directly, I'll jump into the privilege mode. Understood? No. So, if we check the routes, do show the routes static, and there will be no do. Now, let's say from the running configuration, I just need to see my static routes only. How do I check it? When I say show IP route static, it is showing me like this. I need to see the configuration. Hmm. Hmm. Section, then IP route. Okay. So how you'll say? You'll say do show IP route. Sorry, do show running config section IP route. Okay, this is one. Another one. If I say include, this is also going to work. Clear? Now, I can see these are the two routes, so I need to say no to this. So section DHCP.
So here you can begin also.
Begin also. Multiple keywords are there. Okay, you can use begin also. But after this, it will show me all the configuration. And I just want to see the specific configuration. Okay. So these are the routes, and I want to remove two routes. Right. So if I check right now, what are the routes I have? So I have only one fully specified static route. Correct. Now if I check, do show IP route, I have only one static route here, which is the fully specified static route. Okay. Now let's try to communicate. So if I will communicate, let's say if I try to ping, do ping 10.1.1.1. Will I be able to ping? How many packets will drop? 0. Why? Because the MAC address for next stop is already there in my app cache. And it's a success. This is your fully specified starting date. Okay, another question. App cache. What is the timeout? Is it MAC address table? Okay. Router is, how do you know? CCNA trainers told. Did you check? Did you wait for 4 hours and check whether app entry is going or not? No. And how do you know? If I will say 16 hours, then you will agree to 16 hours. At least there has to be something you could check, right? Did you check on the internet whether it is 4 hours or not? Internet you checked? Which website? Google only. Sometimes Google also doesn't give correct comments. Right? Yeah, today itself we have seen in the switching, right? Even in Cisco books, the comments are not correct. Even in Cisco books, sometimes comments are not correct. Right? So always verify whether it is happening or not happening. It is there or not there. How do I check it? No idea. Do show? Or check on Google. Okay, tell me, ARP timeout, is it separate per interface or it is global? Now you need to check. Check it. Okay, you guys check, I'll do that. So IP, ARP, then yeah, show IPR, right? Two. Okay. Then I show you the output. There is nothing. Huh? Sorry. Same thing, right? That is show up cache. Okay. And only show IP. This is the doesn't work. Only show. Any idea? What happened to Google? You said Google giving you answers.
Cisco routers and switches 4 hours.
Yeah, but how do I check it? How do I verify? Age. Age is that means how long this entry has been there. So are you going to wait for 4 hours and check whether this is going or not going? No, right? There has to be something that we can check. Timeout. How do I check timeout? Do show ARP timeout. Okay. First, let's see here. Show ARP. Do you see any option here for timeout? No. Then what to do? Details. to IP out. See here. So IP. Summary. Summary is always small. Smaller than detail. Running config. Okay. I'll show you everything. Don't worry. All your comments will be executed. Sorry. Show running config. Show running config interface gig0/0. That's it. This is my configuration. Huh? Include? Pipeline. Pipeline. There is no interface. Include ARP. Anything related to ARP. Where? Time out. So you see now how effective Google is. Blind faith on Google. Any other comments remaining? Some people might be asking ChatGPT also. Hmm? Hmm? Priority of timeout. Let's see. Let me check if I remember the comment. This one. No, not app timers. Everybody remembers this command, right? Show interface name. Good. Right. Okay. So now you know. Yes. And you can say like this. This is the Hmm? The command that you were talking about. This is the command. Now you see Google is not giving right answers. Okay. So,
ChatGPT as well.
yeah, chat this. Correct. That's why I say do not completely rely on these tools. Okay. Okay. So note down this command. How to check the uptime out in router. And this is per interface, okay, not a global characteristics. And this is the default value we can change. Okay, this is default value, we can change it. We had a discussion a little bit about ARP, right? Somewhere. There only I mentioned. I'll mention it here only. The default ARP timeout. If it is a PC, it is 24 hours. And if it is a Cisco router, then it is 4 hours. Okay. To check the default timeout of an interface on Cisco router, you can use the following command. Okay. And you can also change it, like I said. Okay. How do you change it? Interface. Go to the interface. Interface gig 0/0. Just type in the command up timeout, and you can give seconds from 0 seconds to these many seconds. Okay. So let's say right now it is 4 hours. That means how many seconds? Hmm? In 1 hour, how many seconds? 3,600. So 4 times that, 14,000. Okay. So right now, let's say I'll make it 1 hour only, 3,600. Done. Now if I check, do show interface gig 0/0 include our time. You can see this. Okay. So to change the default timeout of an interface, you can use the command. This one. Okay, the command is timeout and time in seconds. Okay, and this is the range. Clear? Got it? Okay. So I believe now fully specified static route is clear. This is the best way to configure. Okay, so here the app is also getting generated for your next stop. Okay, and since within a single route we have both the next stop and exit interface, there is no proxy app requirement also. Okay. All right. Now after this, next one we have host route. Now what is a host route? Idea? Anybody? All the networks we defined so far. All the networks that we defined so far, or all the routes that we defined so far, everywhere we were defining a route for a network. Host route is a route for a specific host for an individual PC. Okay, kind of a scenario. Let me explain here how you can understand this. Consider I have a router here, router number 1. This is one router, another router, one more router. Then this side I have a switch. Okay, then I have, let's say, a few nodes. This is directly connected. And this is another one. This is the kind of scenario, let's say this is R1. This is R2. This is R3. This is switch. PC1. PC2. And this side, let's say we are using a network something like 10.110/24. Okay. This PC has an IP address 10.11, let's say 10. This guy has an IP address 10.11/20. And router's IP address, let's say 10.113. In between here, we are using 192.168.13.0 between 1 and 3, 13. And C area 24. So here I'll be using the IP address 13.1, 13.3. Then here 192.168, 12.0/24 I'll be using network. So on R1 I'll be using the IP 12.1. Here I'll be using 12. Okay, this is the same approach I'll follow. R1 all IPs .1, R2 all IPs .2, right? This will be 23.0/24. (23.2). And here 23. So what we will be what will be our requirement here, that from R1, okay, from R1, if you want to reach the 10 network, we have two possible paths. One is via directly R3 and another one via R2, R3. Correct? So what we will be configuring with the help of host route, that whenever you want to reach the 10 network, whenever you want to reach the 10 network, your traffic will pass via R3 directly. But whenever you want to reach specifically PC2 only, then your traffic should pass via like this. Got it? Understand again? I'm saying that whenever you want to reach this network, okay, any IP in this network, your traffic will be passing how? From R1 to R3, then this network. Okay. But in this network, when you want to reach a specific IP, maybe PC2, this IP you want to reach. So for this IP, my traffic should pass this way. This is my requirement. So what I'll do, I'll define one static route for this network, and I'll give a next hop as 13.3. Then I will define one host route for this IP, and next hop will be 12. Understood? Everybody's scenario is clear? Online people? That means I am defining a route specifically for one single host. Or else, sometimes, this can also be a scenario that you don't want to communicate with entire network. You don't want your router to communicate with the entire network, but only one single IP in that network. So rather than defining a route for entire network, I can define a route only for like this. So what will happen? My R1 will communicate only with this IP. R1 will not communicate with dot 10. This way also we can do the practical. Okay, so both the ways we can see this. I'll show you both the ways. Okay.
Sir, 1.10 the above via and 1.20 is below router.
See, that is completely up to us how we want the scenario. If we
Okay.
use the scenario that okay, your R1 should communicate only with PC2,
Okay.
then we don't need the communication with this. So in
Okay.
that case, you will not be having communication with PC1,
Mhm.
right? But if you want that, okay, I should have communication with PC1 also, then we can have the scenario something like this. That okay, whenever you want to communicate with this entire network, your traffic will pass via R3. And whenever you want to communicate with PC2, your traffic will pass via this one. So that is up to us how we want the scenario to be. Clear?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So first of all, we will design the topology. Real scenario, let's say maybe my router, okay, I have a department who wants to communicate with maybe one of my server. Okay, and my servers are available in the DMZ. So I want to give access to a specific server only. I don't want them to ping with any other system in that particular. Like in my DMZ, I might be having my web server, my SQL server, okay, maybe my FTP server. I might be having different servers. So I don't want to provide communication with all the servers. Maybe you just need files, so you need access to the FTP server only. So I'll just define a route only for FTP server. That time we can use a host route, right? Clear? Or else what I want is that, okay, I don't want my one single network or single route to be busy. So for a specific host to provide more security, I can take it as a security concern also. That okay, what I want is my entire traffic is passing via this path, right? So if this path has chances of getting compromised, what I can do, I can route my traffic via this one just for my server. So my server traffic will not get compromised. So that will completely depend on your requirement, that what is the requirement, and according to the requirement, you will decide that okay, how you want to use it. No, that is a floating separate case. This will not be used as a backup. That is only in the case, let's say if your host route is down, then your host can have communication via this path. But if this is down, this network will not have communication via this path. So this is not a backup. Yeah. Okay. So let's design the topology. I guess I already have one. We can use it. See, it also depends you are accessing from inside or from the internet. Then there is no such concept. Okay, because when you're talking about internet, then your ISP has to configure the route, not us. Okay. Okay, so understand similar scenario is there. Just a simpler topology. That means we have just removed that extra router from behind. Okay. See here. This extra router is removed. That's it. Okay. So here what we will be doing, see. When my R1 wants to communicate with the 20 network, so it should take the next stop as 12.2. And let's say when it wants to communicate with this PC 20.50, one specific PC, then it should take which path? 23 dot. Requirement is clear. When you're communicating with PC5, your traffic should pass via next stop as 23.2. And when you're communicating with PC 1, 2, 3, 4, your traffic should pass via 12.2. Right? So who is willing to do the configuration? Who is willing to do the configuration? Yes. One. You also two. No.
Sir, scenario, come again once again.
Scenario is when you want to communicate with PC5, your traffic should pass via the next stop 23.2. And when you want to communicate with the rest of the network, okay, then your next stop should be 12. Yes.
Yeah, clear.
Okay, note down this topology, those who want to do the configuration. Quick. Very smart. Online people take a screenshot and drop it in the group. Will be easy. Okay. I think already in the group. Right. R1 configuration. Other people will check whether the configuration is going right or wrong.
Sir, let me try.
Okay, you can do the R2 configuration. Okay, I'll give you access.
वो होगा कॉन्फ़िगरेशन किया ही नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं करना, पहला होगा आईपी आर्किटेक्चर होगा, सब होगा। क्या हुआ? Out of your- Okay, sorry. Sorry. Complete whole configuration. Whole configuration or just तो मेरे को लगा पहले से रहेगा। अरे बोल नहीं भाई ये दूसरा तो है। ऑनलाइन
You have the screenshot, right? Okay, just give me the mouse for a moment. Let's make it transparent. Okay, wait for a while. Fine. Or not at all visible now, nothing. Visible? Text is also visible? Okay. Now it should be good. You can see. Let him do. Route, wait for that. Route right now will not give. Okay, online, who wants to do the R2 configuration?
Sir, R1 is completed.
Yeah, R1 is done. Route, then I'll define later.
Loopback also needs to configure.
Okay, configure the loopback also. There is a loopback in the topology. Done. Online, who wants to do R2 configuration?
Yeah, I will do, sir. I will try.
Sure. Okay, you can start. So how does it feel when you do the configuration?
But here, like,
Your hands start shaking.
this laptop, like everything is here, but there are the number.
And confidence. You start forgetting things.
Leave that I forgot.
Feels different, right?
Screen is black, then I will.
Hmm?
If screen was black, then I will like because everyone will say that this and that one.
Now, next topology, who wants to configure? One. Next topology. This is number 4, then we have 5, 6. On the null route, I'll ask you to configure. Who is doing the practice every day? Everybody? No? Right. When you start your practice, don't you feel like, I know this thing, what to configure? When you start configuring, don't you feel like, okay, we have done this in CCNA also, CCNP also, same thing? Hmm? Yes. Daily you forget comments. No, but when you see in your notebook, it feels like, okay, I know this. Only one word extra is there, what to do. Like recursive, and you say, like once you have practiced recursive static route, then you'll say, okay, in place of next stop, just exit interface. I can do that, right?
I can remember.
I can remember it. Okay. Okay, this is done. Now, who wants to configure IP in the Windows? Who wants to try? You want to try? Have a seat. You sit.
Oh, इसमें नहीं होगा. Cancel it लेकिन.
Ah,
अरे बार ऊपर दबा.
allow him to do.
इसमें विंडोज आ नहीं होगा.
You can search for run.
Hmm?
You can search for run. The first program. Just search for run and hit enter. Enter. This thing you can type in the comment prompt also.
अच्छा, मैंने किया नहीं. आईटी क्या थी? This sir.
Hmm.
Twenty dot.
Okay, done.
मतलब सिर्फ ncp.cpl कमांड मतलब cmd में जाके तो यही ओपन होगा.
Okay. Now take a look. So you see here network. What does it mean? You see here network, right? Network 3. What it means? Connected. Okay. If no network means not connected. Hmm? How long you have been using Windows? Decades, 20 years or more, I believe. Right? Tell me. Hmm? LAN cable is connected. Okay. There is a different case. This yellow mark is a different case. Red mark is a different case. Here having network is something different. So why you have this network? Even without network also I can have communication. LAN communication I can have it, no problem. You want to see? See here. If I check here IP, show IP, no IP. So I'll say IP 20.2.2.10, 255.255.255.0. Gateway 20.2.2. Right? This network is there. Why? Because you have the connectivity with your gateway. Okay. If you get a network here, that means you have connectivity with your gateway. If I'll remove the gateway IP, see here what happens. It doesn't mean that I don't have connection or I cannot have communication. It will say unidentified network. But still, if you check communication, okay. Sure. Guys, there is no holiday tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a session. Okay. So 20.2. Let's say, what do I think? 10. You see, I have communication. I have communication, but still unidentified network.
Because of same network, right?
Yeah, because of same network. So here you will see network only in case you have connectivity with your gateway. If I use something else, okay. Let's say if I use some other IP, it's not like you provide gateway IP and you will get the network. No. If I say 20.2.2. Let's say 100. Now 100 IP is not there. Definitely there will be no communication. So again, I'll get what? Unidentified network only. So if you have connectivity with your gateway, then only you will get a network here. Understood? So that means whenever you want to troubleshoot internet connectivity in Windows, first check this thing. This will clearly tell you that whether or not you are having communication with the gateway. If you have communication with the gateway, you don't need to check any cable between your PC to gateway. Everything is fine. Understood? Troubleshooting. Now, if I'll give the correct gateway IP, take a look. You have network. Understood? 3 means number. Number. If I'll configure a different IP and it will use different network. Okay. This is clear. Now you can troubleshoot Windows internet connectivity. Okay. So let's quickly give the IPs in PC 2, 3, 4. PC 3, PC 4. So PC 1, we have given the IP. PC 2, 20.2.2.20. 30. Forty. Okay, all the IPs are assigned. Now, our requirement is that whenever you want to communicate with 10 to 40, your traffic should go via 12.2. And whenever you want to communicate with 50, your traffic should go via 23. This is our requirement, right? So let's say, first of all, I'll go and configure here the route. If I say nobody changed the host name, so do show IP interface week 12.1, 23.1, go back to set. So I'll give a route 20.2.2.0. Okay. Then I'll give an exit interface and I'll give a. Now this should be a habit of configuring fully specified route, although it will not work in packet list. This is clear. So right now, if I try from R1, so if I say ping 20.2.2.10, I have a communication 20, 30, 40, and you can see I have the communication. If I check how my traffic is going, how do I check? I can trace route, right? So I can say I can trace for, let's say, 20.2.2.10. So you can see how it is going. 12.2. Okay. If I check for 20, again, it's going where? 12.2. Same thing for 30 and 40 also, right? Now let's check directly for 50. Same. All right. Now we can see that all the traffic is going via 12.2 only. Entire traffic is passing via 12.2. So another route we will configure. I want that, okay, whatever the traffic is going for 50, that should go via 23.2, right? So if I check do show IP route static, so this is going via 12.2 for entire network. I'll configure IP route. Then this time I need to configure host IP. Instead of network, I need to configure host IP. So 20.2.2.50. Then subnet mask. What will be the subnet mask? 4 times 255 because single IP /32 block size 1. For single IP, we will use 4 times 255. Exit interface. So I can see exit interface here Z0 by 2, Z0 by 2. And next hop address is 23.2, right? Let's take a look. Do show IP route static. Now I can see I have another static route, which is /30, right? Okay. Now if I check again, let's say first of all, we will test the connectivity, do ping. So 20.2.2.10, connectivity is there. 20, 40, 30, 50, connectivity is there. Okay. If I check do show IP route static again, I'm showing you we have the routes, different routes for 20.50 and different route for 20 network, right? Okay. Now I'll say do trace route for 20.2.2.10. So you can see going where 12.2. Okay. Same thing if we will check for 20 also. It will go via 12.2. Okay. Same 12.2. What about 50? Now this will go via 23.2 because according to the longest prefix match, we know that which route is going to be preferred. Okay. You see, this is 23 dot. Clear? So this thing is clear. Online people.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, 7.
Now, next thing we will see is about loading static route. So first of all, let's mention this. What do you mean by variable length? Once you have defined the route, after that it cannot vary. Like what you're trying to ask? Tell me. So it can be. Still, that will be preferred /31. Okay, but that time two IPs will be there. That time, two IPs will be having communication. That is might be 50 and 51, or 51 and 52, 49 and 50, like this. Okay. Okay, from here I have a question. Now something interesting. Let's say tell me the network ID and broadcast address. And also tell me the valid IPs. Okay.
Network ID is 12.3.15.40.
Okay.
No valid IP is network ID. And 15.17 is broadcast ID.
15 network ID 16. What is broadcast? One to all communication. Where is all? Absent. Tell me. Hmm?
No valid IP.
Is it possible having no valid IPs and having only network ID and broadcast address? What you will do with the network ID and broadcast address if you don't have a valid IP? If there are no students in the classroom, what's the point of me sitting here and speaking something for anybody?
So it's 31 minutes, 32, two hosts will be there.
Hmm.
And if one is network, one is broadcast.
You tell me. Just now I had a question, right? 254. Hmm? 254 is slash 30. Then what is 252? No usable host. So, yes. Can I assign this IP somewhere? Take it as a task. Not allowed. Okay. I'll pause the recording for a while. Okay. There's a problem. Right? Then what about slash 32? What is the network ID and broadcast address? Same thing.
You can show like bank summary.
Sir, slash 31, only one IP is there.
You know. See here. Let's say plus 32, right?
Okay.
Hmm? Unique IP address. Then what about 31? Slash 31. Can I assign it in a PC? Instead, it's subnetting, right? Then why you don't know it? Nobody asked. Let's say, for example, 12.1.1. For example, 2. 255.255.255.254. What it says? Combination of IP address and subnet mask is invalid, right? Okay. But the thing is, these are both valid IPs. In slash 31, whatever you have is the valid IP. There is no network ID and broadcast address concept. Okay, make a note. Slash 31 and slash 32 do not follow the subnetting rules. Right? They do not follow subnetting rules. They do not have a network ID and broadcast address. Okay. They do not have a network ID and broadcast address. They only have a valid ID. Okay. Slash 32 is majorly used for loopback interfaces. Okay. While slash 31 is used for point to point.
Yeah, point to point.
Understood? So your packet tracer is telling you bad subnet mask. but in real router you can assign. Okay. So let's see whether or not you can assign. So if I say interface Z0 by 3, I can say IP address, let's say 30.1.1.2, 255.255.255.255. Okay. So what it says, use class 31 on point-to-point interfaces only. Do show IP interface. You can see. Hmm? No, it will be used on point. Use class 31 mask on non-point-to-point interface. It says on non-point-to-point interface cautiously. Okay, it will be used on point-to-point interface only. Why is it giving me this particular error? Because I haven't connected anything else. Okay, I haven't connected any cable here. Is that clear? So slash 31 is used only on point-to-point interfaces.
Sir, point to point, both in the same IP, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not same range IP.
Okay.
Okay, and like point-to-point network means this interface connected with a router only. That means a device only. It should not be connected with a switch. That is point-to-point.
Like modem, right?
Yeah. Okay. So this is what point-to-point. So here we can use. There is no wastage of IP. There is no wastage of even broadcast and network IP also. Yeah. And you will have a proper communication. Understood? Okay. Any doubts?
Sir, other end also one modem and router is there. So other end router with IP
Yeah.
the same.
They can be. Okay.
Can we use PC or one? For point-to-point, one router and one PC.
Oh. But on PC you cannot assign. PC will not accept it. Only on router you can use slash 31. You cannot use it on PC. I just showed you right. Will not be. Okay. This is clear. So slash 32 and 31 both they do not follow the subnetting rules. 32 is majorly used for loopback and 31 is used for point-to-point interfaces. Yeah. You didn't check on Google? Hmm? Drive access. Still no drive access. Second week this is. Is it your first session today?
Yes, sir.
All right. No issues. Note it. Okay, the command for host route, just mention the command, then loading static and default and null route we will see tomorrow. Everybody knows, right? Tomorrow no holiday. IP route. Then we will have here host IP address. Then we will have subnet mask. Then we will have here exit interface. And if you are using a host route, so subnet mask is also fixed. So you will say 255.255.255. 255. Exit interface, then you will say next of others. Clear? Sure. Everybody had done it, right? Nobody had an issue with that topology, so why to discuss? Right? I have asked in the classroom. Everybody had done the right DHCP task. Then you didn't ask me, you doubt. Okay. Okay. The host route is clear. Next is about loading static, default, and null route. That is for. Okay. All right. Online people, any doubt in today's part?
Sir, I just joined. May I know what you have discussed?
No. This is not interview prep right now.
Okay.
Yeah, this is already going on 2 to 4 batch. This is clear. Online people, clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So let me stop the recording.